Okay, so the topic we're talking about today might be a bit of a monumental moment on this channel because it is a topic that somehow makes Logan Paul look good. Or at least he comes out of this looking like the best person in this particular situation, because recently a TikTok lawyer has made a few claims against Logan Paul and specifically against his drink. And it's actually this person right here called Tommy the Lawyer with 247,000 followers, where he makes videos about like cases and whatnot, you know, the usual stuff you'd expect a lawyer to talk about. And if we actually look down his page, it becomes very clear to me as to someone who saw these videos while they were live, he has recently deleted about 5 videos. And these 5 videos in particular are talking about a current lawsuit that has been filed against Logan Paul and Prime Hydration. Now the problem is here, which is wild, because if you want to say some stuff about Logan Paul, you can say a lot of stuff that is true, that is very bad against Logan Paul, but he decided to kinda lie or at least misrepresent the lawsuit quite a lot in these videos. And ironically, the outcome of this might be that he is getting sued because of these videos, but in case you haven't seen the videos, let's go through them. Now a slight disclaimer I will say before we get into this video, I know there's been a lot of talk about this Prime energy drink and whatnot and how they've been misleading with the advertising, like their alternatives for the low amount of sugar that they have in their drinks and whatnot. And there is a lot of videos out there that state that this drink just isn't as healthy as they state it is, because they say it's a very healthy alternative to your favorite drinks. So I feel like there has been a lot of talk about how they've been misleading with the advertising and whatnot, but that's not what this video is about. This video in particular is specifically talking about these recent claims made by a specific TikToker and this lawsuit that is currently happening. So I do just want to say, just because these claims that have been made that we're speaking about today don't seem to be true and seem to be like severely over-exaggerated, it doesn't mean that the other claims are obviously false too. That's a completely different situation. I just thought I would say that at the beginning of the video because I know there'll be a lot of comments from people saying, yeah, but what about this stuff that's in the drink? I mean, there probably is. I don't know. I mean, I don't particularly like the drink. I don't think it tastes very nice. But the claims that I made in this video are very over-exaggerated. It's only fair to talk about it. So like I said, there's quite a few videos. I think he did like a 4-part series, then he made a response to Logan Paul's response. So there's 5 videos in particular that have been deleted, but they're all pretty short. So let's just go through as fast as we can.
I never thought that Logan Paul and Forever Chemicals would be in the same sentence, but there's actually a class action lawsuit against Prime Energy and Prime Hydration, which are energy drinks and sports drinks that were made by a company called Prime Energy, owned by Logan Paul.
Yeah, so what he said up until now is pretty much true, right? Logan Paul is currently being sued, or Prime Hydration is currently being sued, but there is no conclusion for that lawsuit yet, right? We don't know if the claims that are being made are true. But regardless if the claims in the lawsuit are true, the problem is here is that Tommy the lawyer has misrepresented what is actually even said in the lawsuit in the first place. Now, I believe when the lawsuit goes into details about like these forever chemicals and whatnot, they're talking specifically about the grape Prime flavor. And Tommy's going to describe what is in the lawsuit for us, but yeah, we'll talk about when it becomes very untrue.
One of the allegations is that Prime Hydration has PFOS and PFOS, forever chemicals, in them. So this is an ongoing lawsuit, and our office was actually recently contacted by a young boy who has leukemia after drinking Prime Hydration, and PFOS and PFAs have been linked to specific types of cancers.
I mean, first things first, that is a wild claim to make. Now, of course, he didn't say outright that the reason this person has leukemia is because of the Prime drinks, but he kind of did insinuate it a little bit, and that is, again, a mental claim to make. And as I said earlier in the video, there is so much stuff you can say against Logan Paul that is true. You don't need to make up claims and insinuate that someone got cancer after having one of these drinks. I mean, with a claim that serious, and yet again, he didn't specifically say that is definitely the reason, but he definitely insinuated it. And if you are going to insinuate it, you better have a lot of evidence to back that up. But yeah, either way, let's actually move on to part 2 of this series he's got going on, or did have going on.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime Hydration drink, but according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff, guess how much PFOs were in the product, in the drink? 3 times the amount that you should have in your lifetime in PFOs from drinking water. In one Prime Hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOs that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
Now, to me, this is the part where he's definitely fucked up the most, because that is just simply not true. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm an expert when it comes to PFOs and whatnot, but I've done some research, right? I've looked through articles and looked through videos, and there's actually one particular TikToker that I thought did a really good series of videos on this. Yeah, so it's this TikToker right here called Food Science Babe, and Logan Paul actually mentioned her in his response, and I thought, you know what, let's have a look. And she goes into a lot more details and she clearly knows what she's talking about. And just to put in perspective, when I say like she knows what she's talking about, as we can see right here, she's a food scientist slash chemical engineer. So yeah, she knows what she's on about.
The lawsuit also alleges that the amount of PFOS found within the product from the plaintiff's testing is approximately 3 times the recommended lifetime health advisory for drinking water, which is 0.02 parts per trillion. So these EPA health advisories are non-regulatory and non-enforceable. 0.02 parts per trillion for PFOS is referring to a concentration in drinking water. This is not referring to a level that a human can have in a lifetime. It's referring to a concentration in drinking water that if a human were to drink water with that level over a lifetime would likely not result in negative health effects.
Right, so there's a very key bit of information here. We're not talking about a single drink here. This is if you drank it for your life. And it's basically the recommended amount where you wouldn't have negative effects, right? But it's not one particular drink. And I think a brilliant point that Food Science Babe brings up in these videos that really puts in perspective how wrong Tommy the lawyer was in his video is actually this clip right here.
Let's just assume that you're drinking 2 liters of water per day at this level. And let's say you live until you're 80 years old. So that resulting amount over a lifetime would end up being about 1,200 nanograms over your lifetime. 3 times that would be about 3,000 nanograms. So this is the amount he is claiming is in one single prime grape drink. When in reality, again, assuming the level in the lawsuit is correct, which we shouldn't assume, but...
Okay, so what she's talking about here, when she says assuming that the level in the lawsuit is correct, and she's saying we should probably assume that it's not, is because you can't actually detect the levels when it's that low. It's not possible. So I'm not really sure where they got the number from because, again, according to Food Science Babe here, it's actually not possible to read a level that low.
Would actually be 0.03 nanograms in one single bottle. And he's claiming there's around 3,000 nanograms in one bottle. So the amount he's claiming is in one bottle of that drink is over 116,000 times more than what's being stated in the lawsuit.
So yeah, if that doesn't put in perspective how wrong he was in that original video, then I don't know what would, because he was actually wrong and over-exaggerated the number by 116,000 times. And the reason for that is because the level that he stated should be your lifetime consumption isn't a lifetime consumption. It's talking about if you had that consistently every single day for your lifetime. So what Food Science Babe are trying to put in perspective here is if you drank it up until you were 80 years old, you would drink about 1,200 nanograms throughout your lifetime. So if he's trying to claim that in one prime bottle, you're drinking 3 times the amount that you should have in your entire lifetime, he's claiming there's about 3,600 nanograms in one single prime bottle, which just simply isn't true. Instead of 3,000 nanograms in each prime bottle, in actual reality, in a single prime bottle, if it's a half a litre bottle, there would be 0.03 nanograms, which is very different to 3,000. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I would definitely recommend going over to Food Science Babe's TikTok if you want to see a much more like articulate explanation of this whole stuff. But yeah, hope that makes sense.
Not only has certain testing confirmed that there are forever chemicals, PFOS and PFAs in the Logan Paul energy drink Prime Hydration, but this is a company, Prime Hydration and Prime Energy, that its first year made $250 million in sales, and according to Yahoo Finance was set up to make about $1.2 billion in sales in 2023. And there's certain technology these days that removes PFAs, removes PFOs to the best of their ability at the drinking water source. So my question is, has this company used that technology?
So yeah, the answer to his question here is apparently yes. Logan Paul does mention this in his response video. Honestly, it feels very weird having to make a video like defending Logan Paul because I've made plenty of videos doing the opposite before. But yeah, he definitely did speak in a very manipulative way to make people believe that drinking Prime is going to give you cancer and could kill you, and it's going to be more than you should ever consume in your lifetime. Like, these type of words and the way he's describing this generally makes it sound like people are going to be drinking poison. Which is funny, because even though the drink, in my opinion, is not good at all, I think it genuinely tastes like so ridiculously sweet, it's not very nice. But it's not poison, you know, the way he's describing it. And I think this is just going to be something that people carry on doing, which again is ironic because you can say so much about Logan Paul that is true. But I remember like they were trying to go at the whole Prime drink because they were selling caffeine to people who were under 18, but that's got nothing to do with the people who actually made the drink. They were just selling caffeine in a store. So it's up to the store to make sure that they don't sell caffeine to someone who's under 18. Like, it's not illegal to sell caffeine the same way it's not illegal to sell alcohol in stores, and it's up to the stores to make sure that they don't sell it to people who are underage. I don't actually think the age for caffeine is 18 in the UK. I'm pretty sure it's 16. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, apparently people younger than that were getting it, and they tried going towards like the people who own the company, which doesn't really work like that. But yeah, either way, we're now up to the last video that Tommy the lawyer uploaded before Logan Paul responded. Then we've got another video that Tommy uploaded afterwards, which is now deleted. But yeah, this is the last one he did where he basically challenged Logan Paul.
All right, Logan Paul, this video is directly for you, my friend, and I gotta ask you straight up, does your Prime hydration drink contain forever chemicals? PFOS and PFAs, whatever you want to call them. Does your drink contain forever chemicals?
Okay, I mean, such a short video, but yeah, he's challenging him, I guess. He uploaded so many of these videos because they were getting like 10 times the amount of views that his like other videos were getting. And I think he just really wanted to run with this as much as he could. And he got his answer. And I hate to say this, but it's pretty good response.
All right, let's talk about this. First off, anyone can sue anyone at any time. That does not make the lawsuit true, and in this case, it is not. There's claims that PFOS or forever chemicals come from plastic. So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in. This ain't a rinky-dink operation. We use the top bottle manufacturers in the United States. All of your favorite beverage brands, Coke, Pepsi, Tropicana, Dr. Pepper, they use these companies. If the product is served in plastic, they make a bottle for them.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, obviously, I can't really base this on complete fact, but I do believe this because at the end of the day, it's not Logan Paul and KSI who are running this business. Really, let's be honest here. Yes, they're the face of the company and they do all the marketing and whatnot. I believe they have like 20% of the company. I don't know if that's all together or each or whatever else, but they're not even like majority holders in the company. There is a team that they're working with who have done this for a living and created drinks, and then they're just kind of the faces of it. So yeah, I think when people come out with this stuff, like, you know, saying that someone got leukemia after consuming a Prime drink, and then start talking about like how much you can consume over your lifetime and all this stuff, right? I think there's like the viewers, like the younger viewers, who just sit there and assume that like KSI and Logan Paul and maybe like one other person are just sat there like making the drink themselves, you know, in like a fucking lab, like portions and whatnot, which obviously isn't the case.
Accordingly, we follow Title 21 for the Code of Regulations for PET and all other types of bottles. The products are manufactured by our company in a manner compliant with all pertinent and current good manufacturing practices by the United States Food and Drug Administration. All of our suppliers use GMP facilities. But let's say they're talking about the drink itself. Here's where their argument really falls apart. Pay attention.
But according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff...
Whoa! Hold it! You saw Goodman or Walter White, brother, because this little study that was conducted by a lawyer is absolute bullshit. They're claiming that Prime has 0.06 ppt, parts per trillion. But that's interesting, because the EPA says that anything under 1.1 ppt cannot be deemed as reasonably accurate.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier about how this level that they're coming up with doesn't even seem to be possible. You can't be accurate when you're reading a level this low.
It means the detection limit is 66 times more than what they're claiming we have in our drink. And that's just the detection limit. Your own state will not even take action unless it's over 40 parts per trillion. So we don't even think this information is factual, but for the sake of this conversation, let's continue.
In one Prime hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOS that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
We have a very big multi-million-dollar filter that filters the water from the state. Water you drink at home, water provided by the state before we make it into Prime. If this claim about PFOs and PFAs is true, what is that saying about your state water? Then, according to their website, the Environmental Protection Agency's recommendation is using one of 3 tactics to remove as many PFOS and PFAS as possible. Activated carbon, ion exchange treatment, and reverse osmosis. Well, we do 2 out of the 3 of those to clean the state's water before it even becomes Prime. We don't think these numbers are factual.
So yeah, obviously this Tommy the lawyer said that you're doing anything to try and get like the PFOs and whatever else out of the drink. Logan Paul is saying that it's recommended they use one of these 3 things to get it out, and they use 2 apparently. Now obviously I don't know if this is 100% true, but this company is so big at this point that I'm assuming they have like the best people in the business helping out with this product, so it really wouldn't surprise me.
Do y'all remember a while back when they said that the FDA was investigating Prime? It never happened. They never called us because we follow every single guideline and regulation. So Tommy the TikTok lawyer, 4 videos in, man, farm those views, get those likes, and get a haircut while you're at it. We'll accept an apology within the next 48 hours, otherwise you're gonna be representing yourself in a miserable courtroom for lying about our brand.
So yeah, that is Logan Paul's response to everything. Obviously, I did hear about this, saying that like FDA were asked to investigate the whole like drink and whatnot. Apparently that just never happened. But then he also ends the video saying that we'll accept an apology, otherwise we're going to be taking it to court. Now, we don't have an apology yet from Tommy the lawyer, but he has deleted the videos, or at least he deleted the videos after he uploaded a very small response to Logan Paul.
Apology within the next 48 hours, otherwise you're going to be representing yourself in a miserable courtroom for lying about
Yo, Logan, why don't we just go live and talk about this? Do you want to have a discussion or you just want to threaten me?
And that's it. That was the response. Also, I love the idea of a lawyer saying, you want to talk, bro? But yeah, I think he was trying to play it off as like, oh, I'm not worried about all of this. Why don't we just talk about it? But I mean, clearly he is worried about it because he deleted all the videos. Or maybe he just realized that some of the stuff he said was incorrect. I don't know, but yeah, he kind of fucked up a little bit, definitely. Now, I'm not sure if Tommy's going to upload a new video, maybe apologizing, or maybe it'll be like a big response where he proves Logan Paul wrong or whatever else. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that I spoke about in today's video, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.